Give us a count-in?
Nah, you're already on.
Oh, thanks for the count-in. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Underclocked podcast, where we don't count each other in, apparently. As always, your host here, Coop, and joining me is the wonderful co-host, Mr. Viking, who should be below me. Say hello.
Yes, I am here.
And begrudgingly, apparently. And to my anatomical right is our special guest today, who is GKBurn. Say hello.
How's it going? Thank you guys for having me.
No, we are a bit late today.
Absolutely. He did say that this wasn't a podcast until he came on the show, so this is a real show now, apparently.
Yeah, there you go. I
Thanks.
went on Armour, but haven't been on here.
Oh my god.
I love how you both took a sip at the same time for that.
Yeah, but I've got my Timmies, man.
So we are a bit late today. Because as you can see, I'm still having technical issues with my camera because it just for some reason is liking to want to focus on everything and I can't figure out where to change it. So if you see that through the stream, I am very sorry.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out, and then at some point we just said fuck it and gave up.
But at least it's not like blurry like it has been for the last 14 episodes.
Yeah, it's only blurry and then good and then blurry and then good.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Just don't move. Find out where it's perfect and then just do not move. There you go.
Tell Viking to use his big boy voice. Everybody always fucking complains. He's not even using the same microphone.
Yeah,
I can hear him, you can hear him.
I changed my microphone. It's the one on me actual thing. Because this one was picking up everything in my room and I was not enjoying that whatsoever.
Yeah. But today, Burn is a guest. So, Burn, who are you and why do people
Oof.
That's why do people care?
Yeah.
I think you said why do people give a shit? But no, so I'm GKBurn. I'm a Twitch streamer and I'm also a huge avid Armour player. I work with a group called the 21st Army Ranger Regiment. I'm actually the executive officer, so I'm the 2IC of the whole community. We've been around since 2010, and I've been a part of that community for about almost 4.5 years now. So I do live streaming on Twitch. I work with the 21st, and just all around, just a gamer. You know, I enjoy doing gaming, working with charities, and just having a lot of fun with friends on Twitch.
Well,
not that Coop as well. That's a good pastime.
Yeah, that's a common thing on the internet, though. That's everybody's favorite pastime. But you did just mention it about the 21st, and that was something that I did want to sort of delve into because as a, I guess, it's not a biased thing, but it's more as somebody in the know, as one of your Twitch moderators. I've seen your Twitch a billion times. I've seen a lot of your stuff, and your group, your milsim group, is huge comparatively to a lot of the ones that I've seen. Like, you guys do ops with like 3 full Apaches full of fucking dudes. And that's in my eyes, that seems like a lot more than I'm used to when you're looking at something like...
Yeah, because we play with Spartak, and that's obviously only got probably about a max 10 members per mission.
Well, exactly. Or you look at some even more stuff that's smaller, like when 111 SOG does sort of stuff that's like a small group of like 4 to 6 guys kind of thing. So it's like, it seems more grand and big. And I even mentioned one time while I was watching your stream that it almost seemed like there was a lot of a chatter, and you ended up explaining it was because you get all of the chatter because of your position.
Yeah.
But it was sort of an evidence show that there is a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people. So do you want to sort of delve into that, how it is having such a big group, how you manage it, and how the structure works? Just tell us about the group.
Yeah, so I mean, management wise, so with the 21st, we're broken up into 5 elements. We have our Whiskey Air team, who are in charge of reconnaissance, like aerial reconnaissance, close air support, close air patrol, so air to air, mitigation, air to ground mitigation for armor, APCs, and infantry. Then we have Nightmare, Viking, and Guardian platoon, who are our 3 ground elements. They're the ground pounders. They're the ones going in, flash banging cribs, kicking down doors, stuff like that.
Right.
And then you have our talent element, which is our tactical operations commander, TOC. That's where I reside. So we are the kind of overarching guys for the unit. So there's 3 of us. And what we do is we run operations, we run and basically maintain the unit structure. We're in charge of making sure that trainings are getting done, courses are being held, platoons are doing what they're supposed to be doing, standard operating procedures are being upheld and created. We create standard operating procedures on a regular basis, or we update them.
Right.
Part of my job as the major and the executive officer is I work with our operations officer, Bait, and we help manage the platoon. So we meet with the platoon leaders on a semi-regular basis. We try to do once a month. Sometimes it just doesn't work with our schedules, but making sure that they're getting what they're supposed to be getting, and that there's no issues within the platoon. And if there is, how can we help? How can we mitigate those issues for them?
So you're not like micromanaging. You're not like hands and everything. You kind of let them sort of self-govern a little bit, and you only kind of jump in when there's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for the most part, our 3 platoon leaders and then our whiskey chief, they have pretty good heads on their shoulders, and they can handle pretty much everything. In my opinion, if an issue is coming to me or Bait or Vegas, which we try to keep, Bait and I try to keep it as close to the vest to the 2 of us as possible, because he's got enough. Vegas has enough to deal with what he does. I mean, he does a lot of stuff for the community, but if it gets to Bait and I, it's a pretty serious issue, in my opinion, within the community, because the platoon leaders have the wherewithal, the knowledge, and the ability to handle pretty much anything. So, we deal with personnel issues like numbers, platoons not having, good numbers, and making sure that the RASP, which is our basic training, the recruits from that RASP are getting divvied out equally, and making sure that we have a good balance between the elements, which can sometimes be difficult. We're working with 3 elements and 3 ground elements, and there's nights where one of them will have 14 people, and then one will have 5. It just kind of, it's a day-to-day thing. And
that just seems like so many people, man.
Yeah, but
well,
you started off playing with us in Armour, and like for us, it's like I think the most people we had in one op was 20 people. Total.
It was 21 people. Yep.
Yeah.
That was
the
most.
The least I've ever seen in an operation for us. So it was like 15 to 20 people, but it's a different thing, when you're dealing with that kind of scale, because, like for instance, last night we had 37 people on for the server playing.
Yeah.
But it's a different feel when you're working with that many people, because there's so many factors that go into it, because there's so many different personality types. And with the 21st, we're running ops 6 days a week. So the only day that the only day that we're not running an operation is Tuesday, which is when we're running our training. So there's something going on 7 days a week. Even when we have a development day. So if we have to take a day off to work on either mod fixes, campaign development, something like that, 9 times out of 10, the platoons are going to be running their own training, and they're going to run a training that wasn't initially scheduled. So they're pretty on the ball when it comes to taking care of the in-house stuff for their elements. So, and that's one of the things that when I was a platoon leader there, because I didn't just join the 21st as the major. I started as a PV2, or I should say as a recruit, and I went to RASP, and I completed my RASP. And then after that, I went into a platoon, and I worked my way through the platoon, through the ranks, got accepted into a detachment, which we no longer have, called the Regimental Reconnaissance Detachment, which was reconnaissance, surveillance, and basically sneaky beaky guys. We snuck around the woods. And
is that the technical term?
Yeah, that's what I use. But we snuck around the woods. We used drones, and we provided reconnaissance. And then I became the 2IC of that within 3 months of being in it, and then took over once my OIC stepped into another role for one of the ground platoons. And then due to some medical issues, I had to step away and join 2nd Platoon Viking. And then from there, I actually rose up to their platoon leader, and then got an invitation from Vegas to join TOC.
I do that.
Right.
I do that to him all the time on his stream. Every time I hear Viking on his fucking radio channel, I go, "You talking to me?"
So wait, you have a Viking unit and a Viking person.
Yep. So 2nd Platoon.
Boy, is that confusing.
Platoon. Yeah, it can be.
It just depends.
So 2nd Platoon Viking was my home for. It was my home for the better part of a year.
Right.
At least. So I've only been in TOC since January of 2018, I want to say.
That's still a year plus.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half. And Bate's been in for almost the same time. I think he joined like 3-4 months after me, but he was a returning member that we brought into TOC.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was, funny story, Bate was actually my CO when I first joined in 2015. And then he had to step away for some personal issues and was gone for a couple years. But then he came back at the beginning of 2018 or end of 2017, beginning of 2018, and we brought him back in as a command sergeant major. And then he became the captain. But him and I have been working together for the better part of a year and a half, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with him in Vegas cohesively. So
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, go on.
Big groups are great. I used to be part of a
Oh, yeah.
big group. It was small when I started, but then it grew up to be, we had shitloads of people, and I had to step away from that because it was just getting too much.
I would say that it can be great, but at the same time, they bring onto themselves their own set of issues, because when you have 50, 60 people, it can get kind of
that seems so hectic to manage.
Yeah,
oh my god.
I was part of 106 SOR, which is an Australian group, and that was we started off with only just one squad and maybe a helicopter, and when I joined, and then I got up to the point where we were having 3 full 10-man squads every fucking operation. We had 3 full tank crews, and including an air wing which had about another 10 people in it, all in one operation, which is, for me, a lot of people. And I had to step away just because it was just getting too much. I was in charge of running the tank crew, so I was listening to a shitload of radio channels, and just after a while, you just get sick of it, and you're just like, I just want to shoot shit now.
Yeah, there are times when I have our regimental command, so like our regimental RTOs or radio telephone operators in one hand, which are like the voices for the platoon, and then I have like JFOs, which are joint fires observers, and our whiskey air team in another ear. So with TFAR, which is what we use for our comms, being able to kind of put one radio in one ear and another in a different channel in another ear is great. But God, sometimes I in an operation, I just have a headache, from all the comms.
Well, see, and that's how I notice it, because it's in one ear for you and one ear for the other. But when you're watching it, it's not like that.
It's not. It's stereo.
So like for me, it sounds like there's like 6 people talking over each other. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and I have no idea how you know what the fuck's going on.
Well, I started.
But then you got to remember, Cooper doesn't really know how to use a task force radio, and he carries a lot. He carries a lot.
Excuse me.
He carries a
long. I am very good with it.
You carry a long range radio into every single operation, and you still don't know how the fuck to use it.
I know how to use the long range. What I don't know how to do is on my normal radio to switch radio frequencies with the hot tab. That's what I always fuck up.
You also don't know how to fucking shorten your fucking radio antenna. Fuck me.
What do you mean? It's a staple, man. It's a staple.
When I was in our recon detachment for the 21st in beginning of 2016, because I joined it in December of 2016. I was the communication sergeant, so I was in charge of our team net 71-1, which is our platoon net for all command, so all platoons are on that net. Plus, I was in charge of our JFO procedures, so I was calling in CAS on top of talking to all the other elements. Plus, I had to have our individual Viper net, which is our individual JFO net. So when we call in a CAS call, and we have enough pilots, they'll actually switch down to a separate net so that we're not clogging up the radios. So I had 4 nets going off.
That seems so complicated.
Really,
you start to learn how to discern different things in your ears. So
yeah,
it just took a lot of practice.
I can relate with that because of what I used to do. I don't think Cooper's ever had the experience of having so many people talk to him at one point. Because when I was in it, I used to have the air wing commander, the infantry commander, plus their actual like platoon sergeant, and then their platoon leader, and then their fucking the tanks as well. I had 3 different tank commanders talking to me, so that's fucking shitloads of radios going off at once.
Oh yeah,
trying to talk to.
I just hear Farsight Viking and Mike screaming in my ears. That's all I get.
Yeah.
So like,
that's
it. That's it for me.
So comparing it to your group, you can't, because our group is obviously really small, Coop, and you won't ever experience that unless we get fucking 40 people joining, which at the moment,
well, of course,
isn't happening.
In 2016, we got invited by Bohemia to participate in their live stream event.
I think I
when they were
that.
actually. Yeah, they showcased different aspects of Arma 3, and the one that we were most excited about, obviously, was the milsim aspect. And we had been working with Bohemia for a while because of some issues that had come out, that were kind of messing things up for us a little bit. But Bohemia was nice enough to work with us and actually give us rollback codes and dev branch codes to test things out for them, and allow us to fix our stuff. So we worked so closely with them. They were like, "Hey, do you guys want to participate in this live stream event for us and work with us and showcase the milsim aspect?" And I'm pretty sure that day we had about 80 people in the server, running a full set of Air Team Whiskey, and you had to sign up for the event. Like, it was that big of an event for us that we actually had people sign up for the event, and you had, like, if you signed up, you had to show up,
right,
kind of thing, because we needed to make sure the server would actually run with that many people on it. So it was just a lot of back end work, and I'm glad that at that time I was not an officer because that would have been just an absolute clusterfuck to kind of.
right.
Yeah, it was a logistical nightmare, I'm sure.
It'd be like that.
So another
that line from the Contact DLC when you see the guy in the tent, he's talking about the logistical nightmare of everything.
So I've got two follow-up. One off of what you said, and so one thing off of Viking said. First thing is while I was watching your last stream, I noticed that you had all of those custom map markers and shit, and your map was super like congested. Like there was a lot going.
Got hold of a box of crayons, right?
Yeah, like it looked a little nuts. Like, does everybody in their sort of like the radios? Do you see all of that, but the individual groups see only their portion, or how does that work?
Everyone sees everything, and the reason for that is it's more logistics in that aspect, because we want everyone to be on the same page when we're going in there. From second lieutenant, from colonel all the way down to the recruit, really. Because we want everyone to be on the same page, and we want you to understand how we're going to do something, and who's in charge of what and where they're going to be going, because as you're maneuvering through a town or a mountain, where another element is going to be or where they're going to end up is very crucial for your scheme of maneuver and how you're going to complete your task that's handed to you, and how you're going to get from point A to point B effectively without getting in their way too.
So they don't step on each other's toes and stuff, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so my follow-up question was sort of what Viking just said. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, and I'm pretty sure Viking also knows the answer, but contact.
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, that's a very good question. Let's go into that. Because Cooper obviously.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say Cooper isn't obviously elaborating on that.
What are my thoughts on the Contact DLC?
Yes, sir.
Have you finished it?
He hasn't. No.
I haven't even bought it.
There we go.
First off. So
yeah.
Well, I didn't know that, and probably
you didn't know that?
And probably no one else in the chat knew that. So Cooper's just going off you two having a normal conversation with each other, and not including the rest of the fucking stream.
But just
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I know the answer, but please tell everybody else your thoughts on.
Yeah, the Contact DLC, from a milsim perspective, I play Armour for the milsim aspect. I enjoy the coding. I enjoy creating mods for the 21st. I'm one of the 3 guys on our development team. It's myself, Vegas, and Bait, and we're the 3 developers. We're also the 3 guys that are in charge of the community. So that brings with it its own weight. But that's really what I'm focused on. I've seen stuff on the Contact DLC. I've seen gameplay of the Contact DLC. It looks really nice. It's just not something that I was really interested in. There's some aspects of it that I find really cool, like the drone. I think that that's a really cool idea, and I think that there would be aspects that, for our purposes, for the milsim aspect, it could be utilized. But the thing with us is we can't force everyone in the community to buy Contact DLC. When Apex first came out, we had to essentially force everyone to buy Apex, because it brought.
That was going to be the point that I brought up. That was going to be nice.
Apex brought with it a lot of dependencies that you had to have to play certain maps and utilize certain equipment. So it was essentially like the Operation Arrowhead of Arma 3, if you will, like to kind of compare apples to apples. So Apex is to Arma 3 as Arrowhead was to Arma 2.
Yeah.
And right now, it is required that to join the 21st, you have to have Apex because the maps, the mods, all are dependent on
Right.
Apex. Nothing in Arma 3 is now dependent on the Contact DLC, so we're not requiring it. Now, there are some members of the 21st that have bought it and that have looked into it and actually played it. And I've watched some of them play it, and like I said, there's some cool aspects to that campaign that we aren't able to cross over into what we do.
Sure,
like
but
the electronic warfare stuff, we can't. That's a scripted thing in the campaign that we can't really add to make it seem realistic.
Sure.
Without utilizing Zeus, which we don't like to do. The good thing is that there's some really cool freebies that came with the Contact DLC that we've actually talked about in the TOC in Talon that we think are going to be really cool assets to utilize for our fob building, because when we do an operation, we actually, for our campaigns, we build our fob that we're utilizing and running operations out of the entire time. So it's actually a fortification system that we utilize to build and construct a fob every single campaign, which I think is really cool. And there's parts
we
of
do
it,
something like that too, right? Viking, don't we throw down a base somewhere and shit?
Yeah, so what we do is we have a template and the base is pretty much set for the template. But that's also different because for them, they're a big group and they're a milsim group and you do like capture the whole island pretty much type of thing.
at times, yeah, there's some that it's, go here and just slaughter fucking everybody that is not a civilian.
Yeah, so
Yikes.
with us, Coop, we're PMC, which means that we're only being paid to go to one place and do something.
Do one thing and leave, yeah.
Like the last op we did without you, because you didn't show up because you were like, I need to go do other things with my life.
It was emo night, dude. It was emo night, bro.
So we did a protect the what was it? Protect the ambassador or whatever mission where we drove.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Farsight was the UK ambassador. We drove from point to point protecting him, which also had a bit of storyline to it because it's obviously a campaign with a story in it. So we did that, and that's obviously we got paid, and we also now have a limited resources. So like doing that mission, we obviously gained some money, so now we can afford to buy some stuff. Plus, we were given some other stuff from the ambassador. He was like, "You guys are underfunded. Here you go. Here's some weapons and shit."
Typical for a PMC.
So it's a lot different than capture the whole island with a giant milsim group of 40 to 60 people.
Well, and that's sort of the thing. They're a military unit outfit when we're a PMC. Just the functionality is different. I get that.
So like we could be. So say for instance we did a joint op when they brought us in for a mission, that we could do a roleplay situation where we're a PMC hired to go capture someone, but then they run along with us. Have you ever seen what was that fucking movie about the bomb squad with Jeremy?
Hurt Locker?
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah,
scene?
I know exactly what scene you're talking about. They run across the SAS guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be something like that. That's just a thought. So it'd be
something. As far as the Contact DLC, I think that it was an interesting move for Bohemia to make, and definitely an interesting addition to Arma as a whole. I mean, I think that it's something that kind of is hitting a niche right now, especially in the US. We have, for some weird reason, everyone wants to go storm Area 51.
They can't stop us all.
They timed it.
So I think they
didn't
dropped it at the perfect time.
Yeah, they did. Well, they didn't time it to that. They did that.
No, they didn't.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Bohemia was all like, you know what? We're gonna start this whole. Let's run
they started the page.
It's an inside job, guys.
That totally makes sense. Hey, Reva, when you're next on your podcast with someone important at Bohemia, can you also ask them that for us? if they set up the page.
So I think that some of the aspects of it are really cool, and I think that they do translate over to stuff that we can do in the 21st.
Well, and that was going to be the point that I was going to hit, because I know how you feel about it, and not to completely oppose what you just said, but I feel like and I don't mean to generalize here, but I'm going to just use the word purist because that's the word I'm going to use. But the Arma purist that is that sort of, well, it's not milsim kind of thing. Just the map and the assets are almost worth the cost. And if you want to do you have a rocket testing site that's got some radioactive shit going on. The assets, even though technically they were made for some alien thing, could still be worked out that same exact way, where you've got a mission that you need to take out a nuke site or whatever, dismantle it, and use those same sort of assets. It doesn't have to be alien. Now, the alien stuff is the campaign. The whole campaign is alien shit. I get that. But I mean, that isn't really... You're not playing the campaign anyway.
Yeah.
You're right. So that shouldn't... So you should almost omit that from your thought and being, okay, what does it come with other than the campaign?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And that is now, like, your point of we can't force everybody to get it is probably, in my mind, the only... Again, no offense. The only point that you kind of said that really kind of made sense, because the rest was like, well, it's milsim, and I don't think this fits, but it does, as long as you change the connotation from alien to almost literally anything else.
Yeah, the CBR and all that equipment is pretty much useful when it comes to a milsim side, because obviously you have such things as gas attacks and shit, and people do carry around CBRN suits for specific reasons of that, and I could see that being used in a milsim perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, there's some aspects of it that we could use, but the fact that we'd have to force 60 people...
That is the thing that I didn't think of that makes the most sense.
Yeah, like, we can't force 60 people to get a DLC that some of them just honestly might not want. You know, there have been some people that have voiced their opposition to the DLC in the 21st, and there are some people that have voiced a resounding support for the DLC. I kind of sit somewhere in the middle. You know, from a development aspect, there's some really cool things that I could really mess with, as far as like no, it's okay, thanks. It's my fiance in the background.
Hi.
We're waving.
Say hi.
We're waving, but you're not paying attention.
Fine, I'll go fuck myself. It's cool, whatever.
She says hi.
Good.
So yeah, like, there's some really cool things that, as a developer, I could, for the 21st, I could really use and kind of not abuse, but I could use for good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things that there's pluses and minuses to it. And there are guys in the 21st that are like, oh, we should use this and do this, and we're like, okay, well, that works in the campaign, but let me tell you why it won't work for us.
Yeah, all the electronic warfare stuff is all scripted, and I don't think Bohemia has.
And a lot of the gravity stuff is too.
Yeah, I don't think that's all where you can freeze everything in midair and make it look like it's floating, but it obviously won't move.
Yeah, but it looks janky as fuck.
Yeah. But like all the like when you get that little screen up on you, like if you've played it, you get the little screen up on the electronic warfare shit, and you try and tune into different frequencies. That's all scripted stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not like, some of the guys were like, oh, we should add this to the campaign. I'm like, okay, it's cool in the campaign. Why? Because it's scripted that way.
Yeah.
I can't script this easily into our campaign.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
it's more time than, in my opinion, to be worth for us to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong, it'd be cool to have that shit in a milsim mission.
But for one op in a night, it's like you're gonna spend like 3 nights writing the script to make that work, just to use it for 25 seconds in an op or something. Like, not really. And I get that.
It makes sense to have it on a like a recon unit that's moving you. When you do the whole moving units out of the way, that's kind of cool. But like again, that is scripted, and you can do that in the multiplayer.
There's uses for it, and there are just fun things in it, you know, that they included. I mean, overall, I think that the timing for, at least in the US, could not have been more perfect.
Yeah, that was weird.
Again,
but
they can't stop us all. They vastly underestimate how quickly like an A10 fires rounds. And
how much damage a 2K bomb can do.
Yeah, like an airstrike. Have you guys ever heard of that?
My favorite video for that is Band Inc.'s video of the raid. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, so good. He did a video of an Area 51 raid in Armour 3. It's fucking funny.
There's a picture of Jeff Goldblum in like his running gear. He actually like, the picture is weird. I sent it to Vegas and Bait. It's a weird fucking picture, and I'll DM it to you guys later. But it's him like in his running gear and these weird like 70s glasses. and he's just standing there like this kind of thing, and his thing, like the bottom caption was like, "They can't stop us all. I'll be there to support you guys." I'm like, "No,
Right.
Jeff Goldblum, please don't go there. I don't want you to die."
Yeah. No, please don't. And there's been so many of those famous people, and they'll just hit the little Snapchat banner and put it at the bottom and say that they're
They
coming
can't
and something,
stop
and you're
us all,
like,
yeah.
no, you're fuck off. Like, this is the internet. You know how easy that is to fake. Shut up.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Will Smith and Keanu Reeves are not going to Area 51. They aren't idiots. No, that's not going to
Well, I don't know
happen.
about Will Smith, but yeah.
Don't talk shit on my boy.
Yeah, I'm not talking on Keanu Reeves.
I don't.
Keanu Reeves is the greatest. He's actually. I read an article, or actually, I watched a video the other day that apparently they're trying to fit him into the MCU right now.
Yeah.
Actually, did you watch last week's podcast there, Mr. Byrne?
I did not actually.
Not
I didn't
there?
have time.
Okay.
I'm
But yeah,
sorry.
no. They originally wanted him to be Mysterio for Spider-Man, but it didn't work out. So they were basically like, "You're gonna get a role. We just don't know what it is yet because
there was some like shadow something that they were looking at for him as well. I don't have the exact name of it. Yeah, but it was like
he's gonna be there somewhere.
Yeah, he will absolutely. They've said that they could really fit him in anywhere, but it's finding the right.
I feel like
exactly.
I feel like he should just play John Wick in the MCU. Let's be honest here.
Or Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah, like no,
there you go.
not like what, an older version of Neo.
Yeah, hell yeah. Even though he's like a scripted,
even though he's
robot machine thing,
but somehow he's just gotten older.
It's weird, man. You watch the last movie and it ends, and you're like,
I watched a video. I watched a video.
Wait, which one? The MCU or John Wick?
Neither. The Matrix.
Oh, okay. I was really confused there for a second because we were talking about like 3 different movie sets.
I watched a video the other day from the Corridor Digital. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a thing where they redid all the muzzle flashes in John Wick.
Oh yeah, the extreme John Wick.
Yeah, they did.
What?
They did.
Oh,
okay,
so
they did 3 different. They looked at John Wick and they looked at the muzzle flashes and they found that if you slow it down for each frame, the muzzle flash actually follows the gun with the when it shoots. So it would shoot and the gun would shoot out there, but then the gun would move, but then there'd be a muzzle flash there as well. But like it looks like it's sucked into the gun.
They connected the muzzle flash and flares to the anchor the effect to the gun. So when the gun moves, so does the effect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they went back and they fixed the whole, like, the scene where he's in the house and they've tried to kill him inside the house and he's
like
one of the best scenes
in John Wick.
Yeah,
but they overdid it a lot.
No, they did a normal one and they did the they did like
I didn't see the normal one. I only saw the like extreme one.
The big Wick energy. But
the big Wick energy. That's the only one that I saw.
We'll have to put it in the videos for later because we're gonna watch something a bit later and we'll put it in there for Burn to see as well because it's really funny.
We'll grab it now and we'll watch it now then.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. But they did a normal one where they also did the design for the sounds as well because the sounds for the normal one sound like he's got a suppressor on his gun. But he actually has a compensator on his gun instead.
Yeah.
So they redid the sound design to make it feel like it's more realistic.
Real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's I think he said it was like
as a gun enthusiast, like I have to say that the John Wick movies are some of the best.
They're so close, man.
Well, believe it or not, John Wick is actually competitive, or Keanu Reeves is actually a competitive.
Oh yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, he's
one of the few Canadian treasures. You don't think I know about my boy? Of course. I've only have so much to fucking exactly. I only have so much to hold, and like Mike Myers and Jim Carrey. I only have so many things I can hold on to. That's one of them.
Yeah, but like, so you could probably see the Glock hanging up on the wall. I got that when I completed my Armour certification for Glock. And
nice.
These up here on the wall, those are my training courses that I took.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge gun guy. For those of you that don't know, that are watching, so I can appreciate the gunplay like in that movie because he's actually doing the gun stunts himself. Like it's not
like he's going full battle platform and shit.
Oh, yeah. Like it's not Hollywood stuff. It's just him being him and doing what he knows how to do.
Well, exactly. And I've seen like SWAT operators and like and trainers and shit like that watch him and be like there's even a point where like when he's coming out of the church and he's behind the car and like he escaped in the first movie. And
yeah.
And there's a point where he comes out from outside of the car And they're like, tactically, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They did it for the movie, but even in this sort of untactically sound scenario, he's still perfect battle platform stance. Like the way that he's operating is still perfect.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, he wouldn't do it like that. But even when he's going on, instead of just sort of running underneath the gun, he's got his head down and away from the glass so it doesn't hit him. He's moving at the side pace still with it. Like it's done really, really well. And I saw like an entire breakdown of the whole movie on how he does it. And they're like, there's a few points that they did for Hollywood, but even in those points, they're like the point where he does like the spin around the car, and there's a guy who's like leaning down, and he kind of just drifts around, gives him 2 pops, and then kind of goes. And he's like, that's kind of dumb. But if you were going to do that, hypothetically, that's how you would do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm watching the chat, and yeah, Gothic Socks is right. It was Moonlight. That's what I was thinking. Moon Knight. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, no, like that movie was probably the John Wick series, as far as gunplay is concerned, is probably one of my favorites.
It's so good
because I appreciate like the amount of just time that they spent on getting it right as far as the gunplay is concerned. Like I've seen so many different movies that like have gunplay in them, and it's Hollywood BS. Like,
exactly.
I'm looking at them like, you wouldn't hold the gun like that. You wouldn't stand like that. You wouldn't like. I can teach a 5-year-old how to shoot better than that.
Well, exactly, right? Like the full elbow up, non-battle platform stance, not like it's just this whole stupid like Hollywoodization. It's like that's not how you do that.
All right,
so but like,
hang on, before we continue,
go ahead.
What I've done is I've pulled up the Watch Together, and I've put it to the part where it plays the original scene and then their fixed scene from Corridor Digital for the John Wick movie, so we can watch that if you would like, and then we can watch Cooper's favorite part of this, the Big Wick energy as well, and my camera's
it's so good, dude.
So,
all right, I'm in.
So you're allowed to open this now.
Yeah, Burn, make sure you turn the volume down because it'll be really fucking loud. I'm going to pull this up. Hopefully you'll see the guys that obviously fix this because it cuts in and out of them in the scene itself.
Okay.
But this is like the last little bit of this video.
That's his face? Did he deep fake that?
Wait, that's actually Keanu.
So this is the original scene.
From the Burn, are you watching it? Are you in?
Yeah, I'm watching.
These are the improved ones.
So this is what they did.
Oh wow.
That looks so much better. Everything looks really good.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't really notice a difference.
So obviously that's them, and then they made this guy in the background here, this PD guy. He made another one, and this is the whole thing here.
It's so good, dude. I love this.
Big Wick energy. Oh my god, what? I'm watching. Oh my god, that's great.
Isn't that amazing? I fucking love that.
The machine gun pistol at the end.
Isn't that so good?
Oh, that's great. That's
fuck.
I've never seen this before. That's really good.
Isn't that so fucking good? But you know what? Since we're here, we might as well just delve into in your chat. I have seen you and like Kawhi and a few other people talking about the new Call of Duty, and people on the fence about getting it. People wondering if they're going to get it, what they want to do, your thoughts, whatever. Now we have the multiplayer trailer that was just released yesterday, I think. Personally, I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. I didn't even know they released one.
So I haven't seen it, and we were going to watch it all together and sort of have like a breakdown, a reaction to it, and I think we have it all queued up.
Yeah,
right?
So they released this over the weekend. They also had the beta on the weekend as well for all the gameplay and stuff. So you can go.
I missed it.
Yeah, you can go check the gameplay out. I won't say anything until we watch the multiplayer because I watched the gameplay. I have seen the multiplayer reveal trailer just to, see what it was like to. If there was anything we need to not put in the video for today. Just a heads up, it's all fine. There's nothing too bad about it. So we'll get that up. We'll watch it, and we'll see what Burn and Cooper think about it, because I haven't seen it yet.
The graphics are great.
I'm so skeptical just about this game in general. So like,
I like the quad nods. They're actually oh god, the graphics.
Oh,
Holy
what?
shit.
See, is it? Man, if this is like Siege kind of shit, this is gonna. I just don't see it playing like that. What? You can turn the lights off?
Oh, this is a great song. Enter Sandman.
Oh, here's the copyright strike. You ready, Mike? Oh, wow, okay.
What the hell? If the graphics are actually like this,
Or the gameplay, like the fucking.
No, the graphics look fucking amazing. Oh my god.
It has to be boots on the ground, or I'm not gonna give a shit. I don't want to like fly or run around or do some crazy shit. Oh, that was a good.
That was cool.
Look at that.
I like that. I like that sideways, the cantilevered.
Yeah.
Red dot there. That's cool.
Airstrike.
Oh yeah, there you go. Dude.
Oh man.
What the fuck? Oh! I just got blanched.
Look, okay, demo chart. See, like, it seems like they took Siege and like, oh my god.
Oh, that's a beefy boy right there.
Juggernaut.
Oh, that's a cool. That's cool. They kind of muffled it when he went into his head. Oh, and H64D. That's nice.
This looks so good, like visually.
Yeah. What?
Wow.
I might have to pre-order this game. I was seriously debating it.
I was really on the fence. I'm
if
still
the graphics are actually like this, I'm gonna be very, very impressed.
Like I get fucking rocked. Oh, that was a good audio cue with the shots.
Yeah. Wow.
Tactical nuke incoming!
So, if you go, so
It brings back to like age 13.
we're gonna break it down. Obviously that looks really cool.
That looks fucking awesome. The graphics, like alone, are stellar.
All right, there's scenes in here that I want to break down. You see this repelling scene? What they've done is they've got actual intros into the actual multiplayer games now. So instead of like just spawning in and you're all just standing there, you actually like do shit like land helicopters in and repel in, and
that's sick.
The tank,
really?
Yeah, the tank driving in and everything. Like that's actually an entrance.
That's
really good.
The gameplay itself, I'll have to find some actual gameplay of this.
That's my okay. So my fear is this looks really dope. It looks super boots on the ground. It almost looks like they're peeling it back. But is it ever going to be played like? I don't think so. It's going to be more run and gun bullshit like COD always is.
No. So if you watch some of the gameplay, what they did.
Do you have a gameplay thing?
I'm getting it together, but we'll watch. Where did I see it? There was a really good one. They did a cool game mode where it was like a 2v2 ages ago. Here is footage from the weekend of how the gameplay actually is for the multiplayer. Now, I'm not a big fan of multiplayer, personally. Mainly because it just annoys the fuck out of me. But, oh my god, why is it not linking?
I stepped away from the Call of Duty series, I want to say right after Black Ops 3.
I was before that, man.
I never really looked back. And the only reason I kept up to Black Ops 3 was because my cousin and I just played it all the time. Like, my cousin and I used to play Xbox all the damn time. Like, Xbox 360, then we both...
Sorry to hear that.
Xbox 360, then Xbox One. And then as soon as we both got into computer gaming, we switched over to computer gaming. That's when I found Armour. And then that's when I got Armour 3. Shortly after it came out. But
I think Modern Warfare 3 is the last one that I played, and then I came back for World War II because it was kind of going back to that.
Okay.
And then I got Blops 4 because a bunch of my friends were getting it, and they're like, "Oh my god, let's play!" And then I brought it back like almost right away.
All right, so I've got
I
some.
really only played them for the Nazi zombies, if I'm being completely honest. Like that was, I think, my favorite aspect of the Call of Duty games was Nazi zombies because,
Which is kind of sad.
yeah, a little bit, but
Oh shit, we have the gameplay.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
gotten the
yeah.
gameplay up. This is from a guy named what's his name, Drifter, who got to
Sure.
play it. I've turned the audio down because I'm pretty sure he's actually talking throughout it. I can't remember, but this is obviously him playing the game. He's got, what is that, the FAMAS?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's FAMAS.
See, this looks like Call of Duty.
Yeah, this is back where Call of Duty looks like. Like it's just run around, shoot some cities. Obviously playing domination.
Well, and that's the thing. Like it does it. When you look at the trailers, when you look at these gameplays, when you look at all this stuff, it almost looks like they took a bunch of nods from Rainbow Six Siege, but they didn't.
Yeah, like
You
what the
know?
fuck did he do that? But I don't think the developers realize how the game's actually played by people too. Like you watch all
Yeah,
the cool entry scenes where they all breach the building together and shit. Like that's cool.
like
But
you could hypothetically
do
do that, but no one's actually gonna do that.
no, like
Yeah.
they're gonna do exactly what this guy is doing and just run around and probably shoot his teammate like he nearly did just then. But he's just literally like that running. That's
The running
sprint.
animations are pretty good.
Like he's running
Sure, but I'm
around.
not gonna buy a game for a running animation.
Yeah.
No, I
But
wouldn't.
like he was going full sprint too. Like it wasn't just like he was sprinting like in a normal game, a normal COD game. You sprint and you're just that's a one animation. Where this one has two, so you can see him running around and he's dropped his gun.
There's a guy
down
to his
little
left
bit.
and he missed him. What
Yeah.
a scrub.
So you see him drop the gun down a little bit, but when he's going full
Yeah.
sprint, he lifts the gun up.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. So
yeah. See, like this skepticism and fear that I kind of just had is exactly what I'm looking at.
yeah, this is exactly what the game.
Yeah.
This is just Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
What I think that they wanted to do and the way they were making it is to be able to be super tactical, super boots on the ground, super like
It would never
what
get
I
played.
would want. But no one is ever gonna play it like that.
No.
I think. Oh, you can arrest your weapons. That's kind of.
You could before.
Oh,
You could do
really?
that in the last one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't play the last one, but I think that had they done it something similar to Siege, it would probably be. Or if there's at least a game mode like Siege, that would be really
Well, there's the 2v2 that might have that
2v2.
feeling. Yeah.
So
It's like a 2v2. When you die, so you have to be super slow, tactical,
Oh,
legit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, don't you start off with just random weapons too in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like that's the only mode that I would play. But like this just looks like Call of Duty to me.
Yeah, this looks like a normal domination. Everyone's running around as spastics and just does
Yeah,
all the things
exactly.
going on.
Yeah.
But the cool part is they brought back kill streaks. If you didn't see in the trailer, there was obviously they had kill streaks.
There was kill
Yeah.
streaks in the last one though.
No, but like
Were they-
they brought back original ones, like the tactical.
Oh, yeah,
like-
and the
AC 130 above.
yeah, the gunships, the
Tactical nuke
juggernauts,
incoming.
Yeah, exactly.
UAVs. I don't know if the RCXD.
UAVs were in the last.
That sliding animation is pretty cool though, but I think that was in the last one.
Yeah.
Like I played a beta for one of the last Call of Duty.
Actually, that little instance that just happened, like they make it so the possibility of being good and cool is there, but the community is what kills it.
Yeah.
Like this has the capability of being dope as shit, but you'd almost have to play in like a closed server with like 50 or
With,
whatever
like,
30 of your
friends,
friends, and then it would be good. But beyond that, it's just gonna be running around like 12-year-olds screaming.
And we all
calling
know
you
for
bad.
Cooper that's not going to happen because he doesn't have that many friends.
Fuck you.
Got him.
Got him.
What's he using there? An MP5 or yeah? That's You watch the.
But see, I'm a piece of shit though, and I'm probably gonna buy this anyways, even though I'm talking shit.
I will
Just because
buy
I'm a
it.
piece of shit.
I'll buy it for the campaign.
Yeah,
That's
I feel
probably
like
better.
can you do multiplayer campaigns? I forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you?
I feel like I'd do it for like the multiplayer
last-
campaign and
The
stream
last
that.
few that had campaigns, you could play them up to 4 players, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, but I don't
Really?
know about this one.
I don't know about this one, but I would presume, I don't know why they'd go backwards.
I would yeah, I think that
Because
if
they
I were
don't
to buy
wanna-
this, aside from I'd probably play some of the online stuff for Twitch, for streaming and stuff, but I think that
Yeah,
the majority
yeah.
of it would be the campaign with a friend on stream.
Play online for views, play campaign for fun.
Yeah, no, the campaign,
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be more about, like, they said they're going to talk about more of, like, the civilian impact of all the wars and shit that go
Yeah, I
on.
think the story is going to be really good based on what they've said.
Yeah, but I'm worried about it because I don't want them to ruin, like, certain characters that already been developed in the game. Like, Captain
Yeah.
Price. Captain Price, for instance, I don't want them just, like, changing how he is from the
Right,
original.
right.
But didn't they say they were going to make this, like, a kind of like an alternate version of Modern Warfare?
Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
regular. I was gonna say because the name is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and they
It's
had
a
that
it's
initially.
a prequel soft reboot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
I was like, what the fuck was he doing there? But yeah, no,
Sorry,
it's...
no, I was scratching my
okay.
head.
Sorry, he just said something there.
Oh, we don't have audio.
Um,
We don't have audio on this side.
Okay, so what he just said is that this is one of the bigger maps that's very Call of Duty like, but there are other maps that actually restrict the players, and a lot of the doors and corridors are closed off that force you to be more tactical and slow. He just said that. So
Yeah.
there are maps that like this is like whatever 30 players, but there are ones that cap out at like 12, so it has to be 6v6, and then everything is closed off, and you're in like a school or something where like it forces you to be more
Then
tactical.
why wouldn't you?
That's kind of cool.
Why wouldn't you show that gameplay? Like, why would you want to show
Well,
this?
some of them.
Most
might
people like
restrict-
this though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like the Call of
that
Duty is known for this.
That and some developers might restrict what access you have. Like, I know
He
that
might not be able to play those.
Yeah, like some. So developers typically will have different types of packages that they send out to press, if you will. So streamers, YouTubers, mixed streamers, were considered press, if you will.
Yeah.
So what they do is they authorize you a press copy of the game, and depending on what they want you to have access to, will
Yeah, they
depend on
wall
which
shit
copy they'll
off
give you.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Like some of the bigger name brands or bigger names out there will probably get like a full press package where you have access to everything.
Yeah, like IGN is going to be able to play the whole game, but I'm
whoa,
not.
whoa.
Yeah.
This gunsmith actually looks
Whoa.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's something that I don't know if you guys heard about, but
What?
this customization on weapons is going to be bigger than any game that they've ever had, and any individual gun is going to have between 60 and 80 additions and changes that you can add on the gun, from everything from barrel types, the inner rails, everything. There's going to be 60 to 80 add-ons and changes and customizations per weapon.
Damn.
Yeah, like it's going to be just
That-
ridiculous.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
That's definitely not Call of Duty.
It is from the last one. The last Call of
Oh.
Duty was super big on customization, but they had this thing called the Pick 10 system. I don't know if they're going to be using it now, but where each sort of attachment and piece has like a cost.
Yeah,
and you have
okay, yeah, I
10
remember
points
that.
to spend, and like a grip might be 1, a silencer is
Yeah,
1, the rail is 1, and the scope is 2 or whatever.
Yeah, I played the beta for the last one that came out.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going
it
to
was
abandon
okay.
that or not, but it
hope
was
so.
okay. Yeah, everyone's got like this big fucking huge gun with like 17 scopes and shit.
Yeah. Here you go, here's
Yeah, we
one
could
with
probably. Oh, yeah, actually.
So that's the cruise missile kill streak.
Oh boy.
That seems like a waste of a kill streak. You only killed 2 people and not the whole squad. But no, yeah, well, I could probably say we've seen enough of this, and probably could say that this is definitely Call of Duty.
It's definitely Call of Duty, but it might be enough not Call of Duty to be worth it.
It's Call of Duty with a nice suit.
Yeah, and I don't know if that suit is worth it, but I mean,
I think that it's got some good stuff going for it.
They're trying. It seems
since I've been in the Call of Duty world. I mean, I've been out of the
Yeah.
Call of Duty universe for a while now. So
universe like the fucking MCU, but Call of Duty.
So there's definitely a couple things that caught my eye, like the gun customization, some of the animations. The graphics look a lot better too. They didn't look as good as the trailer, but they never do. The trailer's fine,
never.
but the graphics.
Always. It'll be like this is in a 4K vacuum that runs at like 3,000 frames a second and is perfectly optimal, and you're like, yeah, but nowhere ever can run it like that.
Except for your studio.
I don't have a 6080 graphics card. I'm sorry.
Corridor just released their new video 8 hours ago too, by the way. It's their bring back of the tactical reloads. You remember that video?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. It's number 2.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
So you guys can check that out later. We're not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
That's
Um.
I just seen that pop up on my phone. So.
Right. Okay. So we sort of hit on a point where we were just talking about Call of Duty that very oddly can segue into the next sort of talking point here. You were talking about when you're given sort of passes and codes and all that kind of shit.
Mhm.
Now you're wearing a Twitch sweater.
Yes, I am wearing an
What did-
exclusive Twitch sweater. Actually,
What did you
Ye-
do to get that exclusive Twitch sweater?
So, on top of the sweater, I have a couple of other things as well. Like you can see this flag over here on the wall, this tumbler, the shirt that I'm actually wearing, all came together.
Take your sweater off. Take your shirt off.
I'm not that kind of streamer.
So why
So
are you
I
here,
also
man?
have the mouse pad that you can't see, the mouse pad, I kid you not, is like it's fucking huge. It's like this big.
I seen it on your
Um,
last stream when you opened up.
Yeah, I did a lot. I did an
Yeah, mine's
unboxing
like-
stream on Tuesday. So the sweatshirt I'm wearing, and the shirt, and the tumbler, and the cape. It's actually a cape, but I hung it up like a banner. It's actually for St. Jude Play Live, which is in support of the St. Jude Children's Hospital. It was a charity live stream event through the month of May that I was actually able to start a little early. We started the middle of April. So for about 6 weeks, we raised money for St. Jude, and we kind of had this big ending of the charity event with our 24-hour live stream, which Cooper was
Yes, we
actually there
did.
for a large portion of that.
I didn't sleep.
think-
It was bad.
I think we played. We played Sea of Thieves for like 8 hours, and then
and then we had
switched
like
over.
an hour break, and then we played
Yeah,
depth.
depth. Yeah,
Depth
we
for
played
like
depth for like 4 hours or something like that, if not more.
yeah.
But basically, it was this charity event that, for me, was a very personal thing.
Mhm.
If you're a member of my community, which Cooper, you are, Viking, you are as well, you know that I've had some medical issues. I've actually gone through 4 open heart surgeries in my lifetime. My last one being in September of 2016. But the 3 prior to that were all before I was the age of 3. So I have gone through a lot of medical issues, and St. Jude is one of the organizations that are responsible for why I'm here today. So currently sitting inside my chest, inside my heart, is a St. Jude mitral valve, which is a plastic. It's actually a metal alloy ring with flaps on it that acts as my mitral valve. So I'm not going to go into like the technical stuff because it's a lot of like medical technical shit that I'm sure Mrs. GK can go into a lot more on than I can, considering she's a cardiovascular nurse.
You're her project, bro.
Pretty much. So I actually have a click in my heart. Like when my heart beats, there's a click. There's an audible click. And if the room is quiet enough, if the room is quiet enough, you can actually hear it. So that's one of the things that
That's
she
why they're
actually
really
likes.
cool or really fucking gross. I don't know. I
She
can't
loves
tell.
it. Mrs. G fucking loves it. It's kind of creepy because I was
She's
a Boy
like,
Scout.
I
I
like
was
your
in the Boy
heart.
Scouts, and she has said that before. So I was in the Boy Scouts, and I'm actually an Eagle Scout.
What's the
and-
symbol? Is it what's the little?
That's the Boy Scout thing.
Even
So
I know that.
I was a beaver because I'm Canadian,
I
so
was just.
there's actually my
just 'cause
right
that's-
there on the corner of that. You can kind of see it right here. That's my Eagle Scout award. My not plaque, but it's like a document.
right.
So I was actually
We
sitting
all
around a
just-
campfire with some of the guys in my troop, and I fell asleep next to the campfire, and everyone heard this clicking, and they were like looking around, like trying to find it, like what is that? What is that? Luckily for me, we had a cardiac doctor. He did he did arrhythmiology, so he studied the rhythm of the heart.
Right.
And he was one of our scoutmasters, and we're sitting there, and he's like, that would be, I'm not gonna say my actual name, but Mr. GK. Like he has a prosthetic valve in his heart that
Right.
makes a click whenever it beats, and they thought it was weird. Someone thought it was cool.
It is cool. It's just
Yeah.
also kind of weird.
And actually, in my last one, they let me keep the one that they had implanted in my chest in 1998.
What?
Yeah. So
Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's at my parents' house.
That's sick. That's
Yeah, we're
fucking
actually gonna
dope.
get it like Do you remember Iron Man? How in the Iron Man 1 she gave him
Hell yeah,
the arc
dude. Hell
reactor that
yeah.
said proof Tony Stark has a heart?
Fuck yeah.
So we're actually gonna put it in something that actually is like a kind of a box for it. We just haven't done it yet.
That's so sick.
But so I have a St. Jude mitral valve, which was developed through their research in their hospital. So for me, working with St. Jude was a huge one. It was an absolute privilege and an honor to work with them and to raise money for them. But it was more than just I'm not just raising money for a charity. I was raising money to kind of say thank you to the organization that has given me the life that I have today. And the event really supports the cancer research, which I have family that have had cancer, and one that has actually succumbed to their cancer a couple years ago. But so they're trying to fight childhood cancer, and since the inception of St. Jude, the mortality rate for children has gone, or I guess the survival rate for children has gone from 20% all the way over 80% in
That's so
60,
fucking
60
awesome.
years or something like that, 40 or 60 years. I think it's like 40 or 50 years. But they have done amazing work. And when you raise money for them, you hit certain benchmarks and you actually get prizes, and it's an incentive for the streamers. So
Of course.
one of them was I got a Live Strong bracelet that says at St. Jude Play Live, which is their Twitter handle. So if you want to support them, at St. Jude Play Live is their Twitter handle. But then it was, you also, if you were the first 1,000 people to raise $25, got the cape and some stickers and buttons and stuff like that.
Right.
Then you also got a t-shirt, the sweatshirt, which this is exclusive to their event. You cannot get this anywhere else, and it's stamped with the year, so it's 2019, which was this year. So next year I'll get a 2021.
Right.
And then it was the tumbler, so it's a 28-ounce tumbler, and a mouse pad, and I actually got a backpack too from doing it. But the community,
where's my merch, bro?
The community that my community, the Inferno community, was absolutely phenomenal with that event. They were so supportive. I mean,
Even though you almost threw up a few times.
Yeah, that was, oh god, PTSD from that. But
yeah,
like,
were you about to give me praise just now?
I was, and you fucked it up.
Okay, continue. I want to hear this praise. I want to hear.
Like, Coop, you came in and you worked with me for the 24-hour live stream, which was an absolute pleasure, and kept me awake for a good portion of it. But
yeah,
just the amount of, I had done a couple of different charity events before that did not go as far as we went with this one. And in 6 weeks we raised $1,035, which is absolutely amazing. And
well, didn't the group raise almost $100,000, like the gaming group?
Oh no, the group that I was a part of, we raised
like 90 something, right?
Yeah, I want to say it was like almost $100,000. But as a conglomerate for the actual event itself,
2.1.
It was about $2.2 million inside of a month. That
fuck yeah, dude.
The streamers through Twitch were able to raise. Which here's the sad part about that $2.2 million. That's a day's worth of operation.
Yep.
St. Jude Children's Hospital is a nonprofit, so if you are there, you do not pay for anything. If you are there for treatment, if you are there for anything, your hospital stay is paid for. Your chemo treatments are paid for. Your EKGs are paid for. Your blood transfusions are paid for. Your platelet counts are paid for by the hospital.
This is an American thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But, and I'll tell you a really fun fact about it here in a second, but to do that, their average cost of operations per day is $1.6 to $2 million, which is fucking money. Lot. And a lot of that money that they have is like, they run almost exclusively off of private donation.
Right.
So to think that's, over $700,000 a year, or $700 million a year that they need to run that hospital.
Right.
And they do it, they do it. The cool thing about the Play Live event, which was really cool that I found out, was the Play Live event is their single largest external from the US fundraising event for the year. So every year, St. Jude Play Live raises more outside the U.S. for St. Jude than anything else that they do.
Well, I guess. Well, I mean, I raised money and gave money, and I'm not American, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. So like, it's for. I mean, you have streamers from all around the world. You have in Russia, China, Europe, Australia. that are raising money for this, and they're together they raise more outside the U.S. than they do at any other point in time for the organization, and I think that just kind of speaks to what St. Jude does for it, and
well, for sure. When I told my dad when we were doing the 24-hour live stream, I was like, yeah, we're like that. We were doing it and stuff. When I said St. Jude, he instantly knew it wasn't like, oh, what is that? He's like, oh yeah, like I know exactly what that is. Like everyone knows what it is. So
yeah, you drop the name St. Jude and people pretty much know exactly what you mean. And,
well, exactly, right? So and people in my community know about it because I had the recordings of it and put it out. So like, continue.
Yeah, so a funny story about this. So I had to update my driver's license because the missus and I just moved. So I was getting my new driver's license for my updated address, and also so it could turn it sideways. Because in America, you have to renew your license when you're 20. So when you're 21, it goes from vertical to horizontal, but they make you renew it at 20. Yeah, so they make
more money, bro.
They make you renew your license at 20. So I had to renew my license after I turned 21 so it could be vertical, because there are some places that serve alcohol that will not serve you even if you're 21 with a vertical license. You have to have the horizontal license. So I went and updated my license. And I was wearing this sweatshirt because I came from work. And so now my driver's license for the next 5 or 8 years is going to have Twitch in it on my
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
And she took the picture and I looked down and I'm like, whoops. Oh well. Like, more for me.
That's better than mine, dude. I was wearing my joint tour of like of Rob Zombie and Slayer, and it says Hell on Earth with 2 skulls beside it, and it cut off like right at the Hell on Earth.
Oh jeez.
So someone looks at mine, they're like,
I was
yep,
wearing,
okay.
I was wearing a jumper that made me look like I was a lot bigger than what I was. So,
oh really?
So it was like my shoulders were actually like up to here, type of thing. It was fucking cold when I did it. And,
right.
Like,
actually, you know what?
Guy,
that was my old driver's license. My new one I'm wearing, and I'm sure you've seen it either in the videos or on the stream. Viking, you'll know the sweater, the green sweater with the vaping Santa. My new driver's license has the vape nation. Papa bless y'all, Miss Sweater.
You reminded me I need to renew my license this week.
Oh yeah,
you're welcome.
Well,
you're welcome, bro.
We have to renew our license every year, pretty much.
Really? We do ours every 5.
Yeah, the U.S. just switched to this new like real ID thing where
it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a more secure driver's license. You have to I had to provide my passport, I had to provide my driver's license, my social security card, proof of residency in my state. So like I had to bring a pay stub from work, and then because my old driver's license had my old address on it, I also had to bring my voter registration card to prove that I actually live where I say I live. So I'm
seems like a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. If you came here,
it is.
You'd be very surprised with how easy it is. Just to transfer a car from one ownership to another, you don't need a proof of purchase.
You just sign a fucking piece of paper, bro.
You go to the thing, they say you own this car, and you're like, yep, and then they just sign it in your name.
Yeah.
The kind of fucked up thing though is after October of 2020 in the U.S., you can't fly with a regular driver's license unless you have a passport, unless you have this new real ID. So Mrs. GK and I are going on our honeymoon in October of 2020.
Right.
We get married October 10th, 2020, and then we actually are.
Congrats.
Thank you. We're actually booking our honeymoon. I think we're leaving the 25th of October. So when we go, I can hop on a plane if I want to, which we're not going to take a plane anywhere, but I can just show them my real ID and hop on a plane. I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
If she wants to hop on a plane, she has to bring her driver's license and her passport, even if we're going somewhere domestically, which is kind of fucked up because I could drive to that state with less hassle. So
no, I guess that makes sense. Like I don't need both, but like to fly to BC, I needed my passport. No, I didn't. I just needed a form of ID. I just gave them my driver's license. Here you go. And then
for me, I flew from Melbourne to Perth, which is obviously one side of the country to another. And all I needed was my fucking ticket. Like, that was it.
Really?
Yeah, I just gave them my ticket. They said okay, and then I jumped on the plane.
Did the Australians not learn anything from Lost?
Oh my god.
We're watching that right now.
Of course you are.
Yet, so.
Yeah, so like that's all I needed to fly from Melbourne to Perth, and that took like 4 hours or whatever. But That's not including time zone, which was fucked.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, don't get me started on fuck, dude. I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you're.
But you brought something up. I'm finding good ways to segue into the next topic
Yeah,
here.
surprisingly, Cooper is actually able to do this for once instead of waiting for me to do it every fucking 3 seconds.
Maybe he was running for the master.
I am doing good. So you had said that you're like, GK. You didn't want to say your name and shit. But I had a question that we didn't really ask people until Tim's, which is stupid because Tim's is super fucking easy. But you go by 2 names online.
Okay.
And I'm curious as to why, and I'm curious as to where they came from.
I'm curious too, because I'm here as well. But
so I'm assuming you're talking about GKBurn and Noveski, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, GKBurn, I had a fucking epiphany yesterday for some reason. That took me
found out my actual name, yeah.
Well, I know your real name, and I've known it for a long time. And all of a sudden, it just like clicked in my brain, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've cracked the code!" And then I said it, and everyone's like, "You're a moron," and I was like,
"Yeah, I remember talking to you about that on Discord."
Fuck's sakes.
So yeah, so my Twitter handle GKBurn, which I've been running under that name for over a year now, about a year and a half.
Yeah.
That is so my first name starts with a G, my last name starts with a K. So GK are just my initials, and then Burn. Someone misspoke my name, which I don't know how they got Burn off the last part of my name, but
really, someone said Burn instead of
what
it actually is?
They put the first couple letters they put up until the end of my last name, and then because it's NB, and then the last 5 letters.
Yeah.
But they just saw the ER after the B, and they just tacked an N to it, and I was like they put the N after the R.
Right. And then they truncated your last name.
Yeah, and they're like Burn, and I'm like, that's not my last name, but I like it. And then so I just took the Burn off of it, and I was like, cool, why not? Like I just went with it.
Right.
And it's kind of stuck actually. I think it's probably one of the better. I've changed my handle a lot.
Have you?
With YouTube. Yeah, I started with YouTube, and I was I forget what my first YouTube name was, but then I went to
K69.
I went to KBurn. I went to KBurn for a while.
And your old one, okay?
I went with KBurn for a while.
Specific.
Yeah, it was. I went with KBurn for a while, and something about it just didn't click to me, and it just didn't sound like it was a full name.
Wait, did you just say KBurn without the G?
Yeah, that's what it was before.
That's what my YouTube channel used to be, was just KBurn. And I was like, something about it it doesn't feel full, it doesn't feel right. And then when I switched to Twitch, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do GKBurn. And
he's like, KBurn, bruh.
Yeah, actually KBurn. It's worked a lot better, and I think that it was kind of a more full name. And as soon as I said GKBurn, I was like, that sounds pretty good. That works.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my other name, which I'm known by in the 21st, and someone through the Armour community, is Noveski. So I've said this before. I'm a huge gun guy. And one of my favorite companies that does custom rifle builds is Noveski Rifle Works. So that's where I got the name from. It was one of my favorite. And I can see you're probably looking it up right now, Coop.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
I just saw the flash of his Google Chrome open up on his face.
He likes to do that. He likes to make sure that everything you say is true and none of it is false.
No, and I wonder what the fuck he's talking about. It's a Canadian company, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the other part. What he does is that he looks up to see.
He wants to see if it's Canadian.
Yeah.
He tries.
Whatever, guys. Continue on. Move on.
He tries to take credit for everything because that's just what he does.
So it's one of my favorite rifle companies, just because when I was working for a shop here in town, our boss had a custom rifle built by John Noveski, and the rifle is a fucking monster. Like, it is a beast of a rifle. It has a SAW 249 barrel in it, even though it's an M4. It's an AR-15, but it is a beast of a gun, and I loved it. It was a really nice gun, and they make some nice stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm a really big gun guy, so I didn't want to go by my actual name. With the 21st, because I was in the 15th MU, and I didn't like, especially as a streamer, a lot of guys and girls that stream, we don't like people knowing our real names just because we like the animosity, because I don't need a random friend request on Facebook from somebody that I don't know.
Yeah.
Which has happened before.
What the fuck?
So being able to keep the animosity, like the anonymity, I guess, actually not animosity, anonymity of my name, keeping it from public record, if you will, is kind of important.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking dox the shit out of you.
But it's, I've talked to a lot of other streamers and they feel the same way. It's like, it's not just for me, it's for like my family, because they don't want to be
harassed.
Well, you gotta keep in mind we're also content creators, so we do relate to. I mean, I don't care as, but
Well,
like
yeah,
I don't mind if people.
We know you don't care because you like everything on your Twitter and Facebook by your with your Cooper account, with your original.
Stop! Don't make it too fucking easy, though. Don't make it too easy. Like I don't mind as much, but don't dox me, bro.
But like there are some people that that just don't care, and there are some people in my community that know my real name, like Dreamshade. Her and her husband Sniper Sean, they've mailed me stuff before, and I've mailed them stuff before. I run my own small. Yeah, you know my name too.
I think Cooper and Tim's are the only people that actually know my last name. People know my first name, but not my last name.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there are people who know my first name. Like, if you watch my NHL videos, it's all my friends, so they know my first name. So if you go there, you can hear it.
But we also add each other on Facebook because you're obviously coming to Australia and we wanted to wait.
Right. So I need to like know who you are. Yeah.
So like I have like actual real life friends that come onto my stream and
they'll say your name.
They know who I am, and I have to be like, hey, and my brother was even on for a while on the St. Jude Play Live stream, and I was like, before he came in, I was like, just so you are aware, I do not go by my real name for just keeping my name out of it. There are some people in the community that know my name, and that's just because I'm more comfortable with them knowing my name. But
see, it's also different for you because, and I was having this conversation with I think Tim's yesterday. In that, like for me, for example, my sort of, let's call it alias. Let's just call them for easy explanation. Mine is a name.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who know my real first name or full name and still call me Cooper anyways. And it is still just as, like, if I'm in Australia and Tim says, "Hey Cooper," I'm going to respond to that because there's so many people that call me that even though they know my name, that it has become just as recognizable to me. But it's because it's a real name as well. But yours is not really. Yours is like some fucking letters and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna call him when I'm in Australia. I'm not calling him Viking, for example, because that's not a name.
I sat there. I was like, dude, we're gonna be, because you want to come down and vlog, and we're gonna be sitting there. We're gonna be saying our real names, and we're gonna be like, fuck. Now we're gonna like
go back and start saying each other's real names.
Or we'll start saying our fucking online names to each other.
Yeah, your tags.
Yeah, because that's.
But see, it's different because Tim's is his last name, and mine is a real human first name that I actually go by to some people. Yeah, so for us, it's super easy.
With me, however, it's just.
Your first name is gonna get outed hard.
It was funny when I when I was working at the gun shop that I used to work for, and I was going by Noveski at that time for a lot of my stuff. And I used to go by GK Noveski as well, was one of my tags for YouTube.
Right.
Which I didn't want to start doing YouTube under the tag GK Noveski because I didn't want to get slapped with copyright.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
But someone had said when I was working in the shop, someone had said the word Noveski, and I turned around and I almost said, "Yeah, what?"
And they're talking about the gun, yeah.
Yeah, and I turned and looked at them and I was like, "They're not talking to me. They're talking about the gun." And we had some, for the longest time, the guy that now runs Viking Platoon in the 21st.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
So the guy that now runs 2nd Platoon in the 21st thought for a very long time that my name was actually Noveski.
That's awesome.
Like he thought my last name was actually Noveski because he goes by his last name, and a lot of the guys in there go by their last name.
Yeah, like we have guys in our group that go by their names.
Yeah, and he was very upset with me when he found out Noveski was not actually my name. He was like, "You're telling me that your name isn't Noveski?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's far from that." And I told him what my actual last name was, and he's like, "Why don't you go by that? That is such a badass name for this community." And I'm like, "Because I don't want random
It's so fucking
motherfuckers like
long
adding me
too,
on
bro.
Facebook." It's 12 letters.
Yeah,
And
his
people
last name is
pronounce
long
it
as
wrong
fuck.
so many fucking times.
I'm sure I have.
But like, it was funny
Mine's
because we actually had some gear added to the arsenal that were 20, or they were Noveski flash hiders, and people thought that I was being a pretentious fuck by putting my name in front of them. They're like, "Noveski, why did you put your name on these flash hiders?" I'm like, I didn't. They're not mine. They're the company Noveski made flash hiders. And they're like, "What do you mean the company?" I'm like, "My name is the name of a rifle company that I love." And they're like, "That's not your name?" And I'm like, "No, not even close." And that's when Bolts found out that my last name wasn't Noveski and got mad at me. So,
Right.
Which he constantly reminds me of for some reason. He keeps trying to make me change my name, and I'm like, dude, everyone in the unit already knows me by Noveski. I'm not going to change it now.
Right.
said
And
that
that's
2 years
why
ago,
I
I
don't get
probably would've.
upset when there are people who know my first, like, again, like Tim's, for example. He's straight up said, he's like, "Look, I'm probably going to call you both back and forth just because I'm used to using both, and
Yeah.
hopefully you respond." And I'm like, no, I will respond. Like, it's not a problem.
Well, it's like with Bait and I. So I actually went. The missus and I went to North Carolina last summer, to go visit her grandparents. And
yeah.
on our way through North Carolina, through Fayetteville, we actually stopped by and had lunch with Bait from the 21st. Bait and I had become really good friends, and I was like, "Hey, I'm coming down to North Carolina," and he was like, "Dude, swing through Fayetteville and we'll grab lunch." And I was like, "Hell yeah, why
Did
not?"
you just dox the shit out of him?
Bait?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't go. His gamer tag is Bait because
No, where he lives.
Oh, he doesn't live in Fayetteville, so.
Okay.
But
Okay.
anyway, so well, he doesn't care.
There we go. Nice backpedal, bro.
Him and I actually know each other's real name, and he's in my phone as his real name. Like, I know his real first and last name, and I've actually seen pictures of him in his dress blues from when he was in the military.
You hit that vape, bro?
Because
Sorry, I was just in the smoke.
I did too. But like, I know his real name. I know Vegas's real name. I've actually met I've met one other member in the 21st because he drove through my city on his way back to college, and we went to the range together. So it's like, there are some people that know me, and I have a picture with Bait, and it's just him and I hanging out.
That's sick.
And it's just one of those things where there are some people in that community that I would love to go meet up with and go, like, I'd go have a fucking beer with them. I was in Las Vegas in 2018 for SHOT Show, and I almost texted one of the members and I was like, "Hey, I'm in your town. Let's grab a beer." But I was like,
Right.
"I'm too fucking tired to do that right now."
Yeah, I wouldn't
'Cause
want to
it
meet
was-
anybody from my fucking community. They're all fucking pricks. Fuck them all.
Says the guy flying to Australia to meet at least one of those members.
I think that your reasoning there just got smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to meet anybody in the community. I've got, like, oh, by the way, Viking, before you were around, we have fucking Goth Socks here was like, "Man, we don't have school or anything. Like, it would be sick to go down." And I feel like over the next few weeks, he's gonna end up getting indoctrinated and coming too.
Yeah. They've already been talking about that. They want Tim's.
Really?
Cooper, buy my plane ticket.
There's gonna be a fucking troop, and then when they were talking, he's like, "Yeah, we know a couple guys who are in Melbourne. Maybe we can grab up with them." I'm like, dude, by the time I arrive, we're gonna have like a troop of fucking Australians just like congregating around the Canadian.
I know a few people in Melbourne.
You're gonna wonder how you operate and how you work. They'll be poking you and prodding you, like,
Yeah.
"How do you do the things you do?"
Yeah.
How are you not?
Tim,
how are you not melting from?
What is this mystical thing here? What is so masterful
We're gonna
about
have
it?
to. There'll be videos coming out of Cooper trying out Australian shit like food and beer and stuff.
Oh god.
So
They want me to do a shoey, and I don't know.
I have a question for you, Viking.
Yeah,
Is
what's up?
Foster's Australian for beer?
No.
I was hoping that was your reaction.
Foster's is an American company that just trying to make it Australian.
There's a Cooper's beer though, and I have to have it.
There is Cooper's beer, yes. But I would go to the bottle-o, or the bottle shop, or the liquor store, or whatever the fuck people call it in other countries.
Bottle-o.
Yes, it's called the bottle-o.
That is so Australian. Are you kidding?
We go there. And
What are the bottle-o?
We call it the ABC store.
You will not find Foster's there.
ABC, Alcohol Beverage Control.
LCBO, Liquor Control Board.
Bottle-o.
Fucking Canadians and your weird ass acronyms.
Yeah, it's the Liquor Control Board, and then the following letters your province. So like the LCBO, Liquor Board, or Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
We have a bureau in the United States, and you probably know who the ATF is.
I know who the ATF.
So their actual acronym is the BATFE, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. So they're the fucking party group. They're the party bureau. They have all the fun.
Well,
they hang out with the DEA and have like drug and gun parties
don't you mean
with explosives.
they're the party police?
The fun killers.
Yeah, like they destroy.
I've had to deal with the DEA a couple times, or not DEA.
The ATF.
ATF. Yeah, I've had to deal with the ATF a couple times.
Because you have firearms.
No, when I was working at the gun shops, we had to deal with ATF. ATF.
Oh, okay.
Because you had firearms.
Yeah. My point still made sense.
Yeah.
I'm GKBurn. My arms are fire. You know.
Oh my god, that was so lame. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
Here, Coop, you've got Canadian Club as well, which is Canadian whiskey or whatever you call it.
Yep.
My grandma loves Canadian Club.
You're welcome.
And then.
It's not yours. You didn't make it. The Canadians did.
I am the spokesperson for Canada.
I thought that was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah, me and him are buds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Cooper knows.
Get him to watch my stream.
Yeah, he won't. Bet no.
Yeah.
Clip that and send it to him if you can.
Okay, wait. Are you about to go to something, Viking? Do you have a point you're about to say?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
we were just talking about Australia, so I was just saying, like, we've got plenty of ideas already brewing for videos.
Oh, hell yeah!
Out on Cooper's channel, including just vlogs and stuff about what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at. I was talking to them last night. I'm looking at getting like a legit camera. One of the ones that like the LCD screen.
Oh, a DSLR camera, yeah.
But the one where the screen will like flop up forward so you can see what you're recording.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I've been looking at a few of those, and I went and priced some of them out the other day, and I have a few of them that make sense. So I'm kind of just weighing out the pros and cons versus price for them all.
Yeah. So yeah, you were telling me about that, but we have ideas like such things as, like I said, trying out different beers. Because you said the beer that you drink is like what 5.6 standard drinks or whatever you said. No, 5.6% alcohol content.
Yep.
Where here, I think the biggest is 5%.
Yeah, the one when you guys were talking about it, you got the ones you're looking at were 4 and 4.5. Yeah.
That is some weak stuff.
But that also means that we can drink a lot.
Yeah, but he's Australian. Like their beer might be weaker, but you got to know that that Viking could drink both of us under the table. Like it's just a fact. Well, you maybe, but like,
I have a. Oh, so there's this one time. It happened recently.
Recent drunk story?
Yeah.
I only heard heard the old one. This is gonna be gold. I like this.
Well, I say recent, but it was back in April.
That's
so you might have heard it, Coop.
Okay.
So the missus and I went up to my in-laws for.
Oh yeah, this is the one I heard
for Easter. Yeah, and we were just hanging out. And her family's big drinkers. Like they drink a lot. Not to say that they're alcoholics, because they're not, but they know how to control their drinking. But they drink like Bud Light and stuff like that. So it's not really beer. It's just water that can get you a little buzz if you have enough. But so I hadn't had anything to eat that day, and we started drinking when I got there. After we did a little adult Easter egg hunt, like they had scratch offs from the lottery. They hid alcohol, like beers, ciders, stuff like that, and then cash as well. So after that, we started drinking, and I had like a beer and a half, and then my brother and my fiance and Mrs. and I were sitting out on the patio talking to her dad, and all of a sudden her brother comes out and he's like, "Hey guys," we're like, "What?" He's like, "Tequila shots," and we're like, we looked at each other like, "Yeah, why not? Sure." So I walk in, her and I both walk in. We pour 5 tequila shots, one for me, one for her, one for her brother, one for her brother's girlfriend, and then one for her cousin.
And you're like a heavy lightweight.
I wouldn't say I'm a heavy lightweight, but I had nothing to eat that day at that time, and it's like probably 12, like 11 or 12.
At night?
And no, in the morning. Like 11 a.m.
Why are you taking tequila shots at 10 in the morning, you fuckwit?
Why not? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Cooper's gonna be so fucked up when he gets here.
So
Dude, I'm gonna be drunk like 24/7 there. It's gonna be ridiculous.
So we do the tequila shots, and we're standing in the kitchen like waiting, and all of a sudden I don't remember anything from like 5 minutes after the tequila shot till when I was sitting down eating food. Like I remember very sporadic things. Like I remember talking to my brother-in-law about guns, and then I remember us walking downstairs and getting tables and chairs, and then I remember like opening my eyes and I'm like sitting at the table and I have food in front of me. And I was like, I went to Mrs. GK and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember anything. Like 5 minutes after the tequila shot.
Attaboy.
So, but she had done a second one and she was fine. She loves tequila.
Because you're a bitch.
For me to get to that stage, the last time I actually ended up not remembering anything was when I was 18, and I went through a whole bottle of this. Like,
so yesterday?
I went through a whole bottle. It's probably like that big. Probably like it was like your standard Coke drink, like 1.25 liter. It was a straight. Like I can't remember the name of it, but it tasted like if you ever had golden syrup before, which you probably don't know what the fuck that is.
No.
That's
maple syrup? I know what that is.
No, golden syrup.
You guys have a national reserve for maple syrup to control the price of maple syrup.
But I had to go. I went through the whole bottle
up.
before I forgot what the fuck was going on, and I apparently walked from one side of town to the other to go back to bed.
Yikes!
Like, and I don't remember walking there.
That's
how much it blacked out. It was a half-hour walk, and I don't remember.
The last time, and it's only happened to me twice, but the last time that it happened to me, I had the flu and I was like sick as shit. So I was taking like Benadryls and shit. So I was taking like cough medicine, which is a blood thinner, so you're not supposed to drink.
No, you're not.
Were you trying to kill yourself?
No, and I didn't put this together. So I'm sick. And I had every form of alcohol: wine, tequila, liquor, beer, fucking whiskey, everything.
Fuck.
Everything.
So yes, you were trying to kill yourself.
And you know what? And I finished the night, and I threw up and shit. Like I was super fucked, right? Super fucked. But the next day I woke up and I was like I remember the whole night, and I was like, man, like that was a fucking crazy night. I can't believe I did that. That was stupid. So I go on Facebook and pull it up, and there's a picture with me and some guy, and he's like, "Happy birthday, man!" And I'm like, I literally didn't know you were there. I have zero recollection of you being there. He's like, "Oh, I was there for like half hour. I showed up. We had a shot together, and then I left." I'm like,
"Oh God,
don't remember."
Did you though? I mean, there's a picture. There's photo evidence of you being there, but I had zero recollection.
All I drink.
Your mind has deleted that part of the night.
Well, exactly. It was only that segment. I remember. He's like, "Yeah, I showed up, and this was happening." I'm like, "I remember that." And he's like, "And then I left." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I was talking to somebody else. I'm like, and they're like, "Yeah, they left." And then we did this. I'm like, "Well, I remember that." So it literally was like a 25, 30-minute span that it just like blanked out of my brain. And I'm like, "Fuck."
Well, the only thing I drink now is Jack Daniels with Coke and fucking Ted's, which is what Gothic Socks will understand what that is.
Sure.
It's an Australian drink. It's not bad. And then if I go to like a pub or we're gonna go when you're here. We're gonna go to the RSL, which is the retired service league, which is for like military veterans and shit.
Yep. Yeah. It's like the Royal Legion here.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to that, and there's like you can get Carlton draft and shit there. And there's obviously like pokies and fucking shit we can do while we're there because we're bored.
Right.
And the good part about that is it's only 5 minutes up the road from where I live. So I can literally walk up there just with a couple of mates.
We have like 10, 15 minutes left, and there's two points that I would just want to quickly get through here.
We got
Burn. Are there any games or things coming out in the very near future that you're excited for? How is this putting you on the spot? How does this have you speechless?
I don't know. I mean,
he's got Armour 3 and he doesn't need any other game in the world.
I mean, pretty much. So I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of free time for extra gaming aside from like the Tuesday streams and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have a full-time job, and then
I was being very sarcastic.
and yeah, I know, but like between my full-time job and the 21st, like 21st is almost like an additional full-time job
Mhm.
in and of itself between all the like extra work that we do on
Trying
the
to say
side.
that your friends are a bit of a hassle. Do you have,
No.
Yeah.
do you have a HR department at the 21st? Because
I am the HR department.
Well, then they're
Um,
fucked. They're fucked.
I know.
do you
Because
have
my
a,
response to everything's like, I don't fucking care.
do you have a union that you go to? Like,
But so there's
Mudman's like,
I've been
"Boom,
playing. Cooper knows I've been playing a lot of Fortnite recently. Which
Yikes.
I'm out.
I was very skeptical at first. Like I played it for like an hour once, God, like over a year ago, and I was like, nah, fuck this game. And then I picked it up about a month ago, and uh, I don't know. I've liked playing the game. I enjoy the gameplay. But some of the community, like when there's an 11-year-old floss dancing in Walmart, that's when I want to just like smack him across the face and be like, stop that. No.
Boo.
So
Boo.
season 10 is coming out, so
Wrong
I'm a little
finger.
excited about that one. No, that's the right one.
Oh, no, you look like you did that.
Oh no. So that I'm kind of excited about the Call of Duty coming out. I don't know. There's
There's
I
more to
kind of
life
want to
than
get
It's not a
that.
loaded question. You don't need to if you don't really have an answer, you don't
No,
need
I
to
mean
fish
like
for an answer.
I'm trying to find the game that I was talking to the developers about. Talking to fuck, who was it? Trying to find it here in
Is it that
my
zombie one?
it was Iceberg
game?
Interactive. I was
Oh.
talking to Iceberg Interactive, and they have a new game coming out that they're releasing called The Sojourn, and it looks really good. So I was actually tweeting back and forth with Iceberg Interactive for like 20 minutes the other day at work, 20-30 minutes talking to them about the game, and it looks really good. I'm really stoked to see that game come out.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be pretty good. So I've played a lot of Iceberg Interactive games that I was given by Iceberg Interactive, and I can only see like the top of your head by game. So yeah, I mean that's something that I'm actually kind of excited about. But there's not a whole lot that I would say that I'm
All right.
stoked about.
Then
Oh,
Flash.
actually the update for Sea of Thieves too.
Yes,
Sorry,
okay.
Sea of
That's
Thieves.
one thing we haven't talked about in 3 fucking episodes is Sea of Thieves. And what's the other thing we haven't talked about, Coop?
Nothing. We don't talk about it anymore.
Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
but we don't have a lot of time, so we're lightning around to the next.
Lightning round.
If someone, and since you're the guest, this is something that we kind of really wanted to hit on. If someone is to come to your channel, what types of things should they be expecting for people who don't know who you are?
Obviously, Armour 3 is probably one of the big ones because you talked.
Yeah, so if you're coming to my channel and you've never been there before, one is we're a friendly group. You know,
Speak for yourself.
The one thing that I don't stand for in my community is like shit posting about like other people. Like we joke with Cooper a lot,
Yeah,
but we're not assholes to Cooper. Like if
No, it's all in jest. We're all friends.
Yeah,
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, the thing with my community is we will support each other 100% of the time. So that's something that you should expect is we will if you're going through something, we'll help you out. Like we'll be there to talk to you and stuff like that. And we're a nice group. We're a very supportive group as well. But yeah, a lot of Arma is one thing to expect. Like Viking said, I stream Arma 2 days a week at least. Sometimes I might stream it a third day, depending. But we just have a lot of fun, and we always look for something to do, like another charity to do, or I'm right now collaborating with one of my a streamer that I watch to do a collab stream on Tuesday with them.
Yep, saw that.
Yeah, so it's a lot of joking around. I have this when we win rounds of like Fortnite or any battle royale game, I have this sound clip that I play that one of my former mods made. If you're in a Discord, something to expect is a lot of Cooper bashing, a lot of talk about Canada, between Coop and Real. And just, I mean, we have a lot of wholesome fun. We like to joke with each other. We like to play around with each other. It's all in good fun. It's not like we're not doing it just to hate on each other. But yeah, I mean, that's just something to kind of expect for that.
All right, and the final question point thing to get to before we wind this thing down, is there anything that you want to promote, plug, anything coming up that you want people to know about?
Yeah, actually there is. So this Tuesday, which is one of my normal streaming days, for my schedule, I guess I'll promote my schedule real quick. For my schedule, I do Tuesdays from 8 p.m. Eastern to midnight, and that's kind of the variety day. So we'll play Fortnite, we'll play Sea of Thieves, we'll play different games, stuff like that. Occasionally Apex Legends, occasionally Rainbow Six Siege, some Minecraft every now and then. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time are my operations with the 21st. And my big rule with the 21st stuff is do not bash the 21st. I've had some former members that did not like us, that left on very bad terms, that come in and shit post about us because they're mad. I don't approve of that at all. Like, if you start doing that, you get timed out, you get kicked, you get banned from my Twitch, because I don't stand for it at all. You cannot like us, that's fine, but I'm not going to tolerate that in my chat. And I don't tolerate you putting down other streamers in my chat either.
Right.
That's something I don't do. This Tuesday coming up, I'm actually collaborating with a buddy of mine called iFatal Gaming. I call him, he goes by Ice in some of the communities that I'm in. So him and I are doing a Fortnite collab, which I'm super stoked about. That's going to be something coming up here on Tuesday, so 8 p.m. Eastern. He won't be on until 9 Eastern just because of his schedule. He's a West Coaster. Right. He's not on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast. So yeah, that's something that is coming up that I'm actually really stoked for, and we'll have a tweet about that. And my Twitter is at GKBurn Gaming. So I'll have a tweet about that here probably by the end of the night. I'm just waiting to get a graphic from one of my guys to post it up. But other than that, I mean, we have an anniversary for the 21st coming up that I'm going to be streaming. We haven't set a hard date yet, but it's going to be in middle to late August. So we'll be streaming that. And it'll just be kind of a celebration. We're about to start our 10th year of operations with the 21st. So that's
nice.
Kind of it's a big milestone for us. We're really excited.
For sure.
There's something that we're going to be doing special in there that I don't want to say here because I don't want to give it away or spoil it.
Sure.
But it's something that you can, show up to the stream and watch, and it's going to be big. Bait and I have been working on it for a while, so
nice.
The other platoon leaders have been in on it, so.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I think we're going to wind it down here. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I know we've been trying to sort of organize it back and forth for a little while now, and I'm glad we could finally pin it down and actually get this done. At some point, we'll go on yours once we can nail down a time.
Did we even talk today? I don't think we did.
No. He has one. That's it. The
Inferno Streamcast. I don't have a lot of episodes on it.
Yeah, that's a thing. You can check that out somewhere. But Viking, you want to say bye to the Twitch people?
All right, so we're gonna head off. Thank you so much for everyone who came and everyone that followed today. I've been watching the stream chat and everything and seeing everyone that followed. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For that. GK, thank you so much for coming onto the channel today.
Absolutely.
Like Cooper said, we've been organizing this for a while.
The timing was a problem.
It wasn't even that. It was just me and Cooper realized that we haven't done any episodes for a while where it was just me and him, because we did a lot of guest ones a while back.
It's nice to just kind of get to yourself too.
We need to cut a couple episodes out for just us, and then we're going to bring you on. And obviously, it's a good one for us because it's number 15 for the series. For number 15, you can check out everything on the YouTube. The links are down in the post down the bottom. You can also join us on our Discord if you ever want to find out where we're doing stuff such as getting GKBurn onto the channel.
Absolutely.
All the announcements go into there. You can meet us there. Me and Cooper are always active in there. We can talk whenever you want. That's pretty much it from me. If you would like to say goodbye to the fellow future people.
Yep. All right, people watching this in the future on the YouTubes, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be just great. If you see anything else on the channel here that you want to throw and you want to throw a like on there as well, it really helps us out, and we really do appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for Burn for coming on. Thanks for everybody who showed up today and watched. It's been really active, lots of chats, really awesome. Like to see the community involvement from everybody around. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for us today. So I hope everybody, including you, Burn, has a good day, good evening, and I think that we'll see you in the next stream, video, or podcast.
Hell yeah.
See
All right, later, dudes.